everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Unica Lee, and I am the founder of HEARO. I'm also an ASUW Campus Partnerships intern, and we are hosting this workshop on 5 steps to build a roadmap after college. So without further ado, I'll hand the floor to Ray.
Okay, thank you so much, Unica. Hi, everybody. Hello. So, just to introduce myself, okay, I'm Ray. I'm a speaking and MC coach. I help you speak up with boldness so you never let fear get in the way. So, what I do is I work with millennials, corporate professionals, I work with sales professionals and entrepreneurs so that they can show up to any sales meeting or any presentation bold and unafraid. Okay, that's what I do. A little bit of a background as well. I have been hosting events for 7 years. So I host weddings, I host road shows, I also do on-screen work. So I host events on camera and I host advertisements as well. So that's a little bit about me. And the reason why I am so passionate about this topic of building a roadmap after college is because for me, when I was in university, when I was in college, here we call it university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was sort of like really lost. Okay, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I liked to do, and I was sort of all over the place. And what helped me was the 5 steps that I'll be sharing about today. Those 5 steps actually helped me a lot figure out what I want to do after I graduate, which is why now I'm running my own business. Okay, before we begin, okay, I want an answer to this question. Okay, do you want to figure out what you want to do with your life before you graduate from college? Tell me in the comment section below. Say me if that is you. Do you want to graduate from college already knowing what you want to do? Everyone says me, me, me. Okay, perfect. Second question. Do you want to attract your dream opportunities and connections effortlessly? Yes! Oh, I see so much excitement. You're like, yes! Heck yeah! I love the excitement. Uh, okay, so great, because if your answers are no, then I don't know why I'm here. Okay, so what is happening today? Okay, this is gonna be not theory. Okay, I'm someone that likes to really share from my personal experience. Everything that I share today has worked for me, has helped me connect to top level CEOs, has helped me get jobs right after I graduated, multiple job offers, even though there was COVID-19 happening. It has also helped me get clients for my business, even though I only launched my business a couple of months ago. So everything is really my personal experience. And this is not a motivational talk. I think motivation and inspiration is important. It has its place. But today, what I really hope for is for you to take away some actionable tips so that you can put things into work, so that you can actually build a roadmap. Okay, so this is a little bit about me. 2017 Ray and 2020 Ray. So in 2017, I was like clubbing. You know, uh, I was working in a club. And 3 years later, in 2020, I am, as you can see, teaching to students as well as adults. So what happened between 2017 to 2020? I wasn't always the girl that knew what she wanted to do in life. In fact, when I was in university, I compared myself with others a lot because everybody else did very well in academics. Everybody else knew what they wanted to do. They were doing internships. They were already doing part-time work in media companies because I studied in communications and media. And people around me sort of already knew what they wanted to do. And I felt a little bit like the lost sheep because I've done internships before, but I realized that, I never found something that burned that fire in me. It was always doing jobs that I was okay with, but not super passionate about. So the first 2 years of my university life was a little bit of a blur, a little bit confusing to me because I went in thinking that, hey, what am I going to do after uni? Should I just be getting a job? Should I just be getting a public relations or media job just because? Should I get a stable job? So that I could just pay the bills, or should I chase my passion? Is passion even worth chasing? I had so many questions in my mind. Has this happened to you before? Can you tell me in the comment section below? Do you resonate with this feeling? So I completely resonate with you, especially with societal expectations. So I come from an Asian background, but I think that this feeling of needing to, you would say like, make your parents proud, or needing to reach a certain expectation that society puts as success, that society sets as success. I think that that feeling is cross cultural. Like nobody wants to fail, right? But success is always seen as getting the big bucks, getting a good job, doing well, and that sort of pressures us to um, look at getting a good job and getting clear right after uni as success. So today, what I hope to do is to show you that you can create your own version of success, and your passions matter, your interests matter. And at the end of this workshop, you will discover how exactly to build a roadmap after college so that you will achieve your goals in less time. And most importantly, so that you'll leave college immediately knowing what you want to do instead of just getting any job out there just to pay the bills. Okay? So let's dive in, right? Let's dive in and let's get real. Okay. The old way of thinking is that if I study hard, I get good grades, I get a good job, and then I'll get a good life. Have you heard this before? Anybody, tell me in the comment section if you have heard this before, or am I the only one that has ever heard this? Yeah, has anybody told you, just focusing on studies, get good grades, and then at least you have options, you get a good job. If you have a good job, you're settled. Okay, just chill, focus on your studies. Don't do all those extracurriculars. Yes. Okay. Many people say yes. Yup. Standard expectations. Okay. Unfortunately or fortunately, that's not the case anymore. Okay. The new thinking is, look at this. Almost everyone is a graduate and has decent grades. How are you different? How can you stand out? Grades are actually becoming less recognized, even though grades are important. It's sort of expected already. Today, I will share with you how you can leverage on your natural strengths and differentiate yourself from other graduates, so that you can also gain experience, build a portfolio, and identify your passion in less time, and start building your roadmap today and secure opportunities even before you graduate. So let's dive in. Okay, number one, the first thing that has helped me build my roadmap um, during college so that after I graduated, I really know what I wanted. The first one is actually to be aware of your natural strengths and interests. Okay. Don't be better, be different. Okay. Why I say so? Many students, many of my friends when I was in uni struggle to figure out what they want to do in life, and they try a lot of things. They join clubs, they do internships, they do free work, they take up new courses. But the problem is this: if you aren't aware of what you want, you will say yes to everything. And this is the danger because many people go into multiple internships, but after the multiple internships, they still don't know what they like. Because there's so many opportunities out there. Which one should you take? Which are the ones that you can take to slowly figure out what you want to do? So understanding yourself is very, very important. Okay. Another reason why it's important to be aware of your natural strengths and interests. Because if you aren't aware of your natural strengths, you will fall into the trap of social comparison. When I was in school, I saw everybody around me doing well for academics. They were very academically driven. And I always compared myself. I was thinking like, how can I compete? No matter how hard I try, I will get a B. Like there are people who get A's so easily. And in my mind, I'm like, how is this possible, right? And no matter how hard I try, I'll get a B. And I always felt that my heart was moving towards freelance work. So when I was in university, I was emceeing events a lot. I was doing trainings in school. I taught life skills, taught growth mindset. I taught personal development in secondary and um, junior colleges. So basically, those younger than me. And I enjoyed doing those things. And I didn't really enjoy, writing essays. But during project work, I like it. So I always like doing things that involve like talking to people. Only when I figured out that my strength is in connecting with people, my strength is in talking to people, my strength is in being on stage and speaking and creating content online, did I go like, hey, that makes sense. Like my strength is that. Why am I comparing myself with others based on something that isn't even my strength? Okay, so that's why it's important to be aware of your natural strengths, because if you compare yourself with others using their strengths, you're essentially putting yourself against a benchmark that you cannot hit. Okay. One of my mentors shared with me the story before when I was in constant social comparison. She asked me, Ray, why are you looking at other people's treasure chest, treasure chest, instead of finding the key to yours? So that is something that I want to ask you, and I think this is a story that you can always keep at the top of your head. Instead of looking at other people's treasure chest saying, oh my goodness, your treasure chest is so pretty, they have the jewels that I don't have, why is their treasure chest red and mine is yellow? Instead of looking at their treasure chest, ask yourself, where is mine, and do I even have the key to open mine? Do I even know what my treasure chest entails? And your treasure chests are your unique strengths, your unique challenges, your unique experiences. That is actually your key to success. It's a major key to your success. uh, I may not have time to explain it because of lack of time. Google the difference between your zone of genius and your zone of excellence. But in essence, your zone of excellence is actually an area that you spend loads of time to excel in until you become good at it. But after a while, once you reach mastery, you will plateau. Your zone of genius is something you are naturally good at, and you actually spend less time doing as opposed to less time practicing as opposed to someone else. So how to understand yourself? Okay, it's always the big question, right? How do we figure out who we are? These are some questions that would help. Okay, so you can take a screenshot. Okay, ask yourself these hard questions. What are the activities I naturally gravitate or make time for? Okay, now I want to hear in the comment section. Tell me one activity that you are naturally excited about. Like nobody has to like push you out of bed to go like, hey, do it. What is one activity that you will do even if you have no time for, you will make time for it? Okay, tell me in the comment section below. Second question is where do my thoughts naturally move towards? Let's say you're in class and you're getting a little bit bored. What do you usually think about? It doesn't count if you're hungry and you're thinking about food, okay? Question number 3, what is the thing I do most effortlessly with little or no preparation required? Because the things that you're naturally good at are things that you don't need to spend as much time on, and you'll still be good at it. Number 4, what is an area that excites me that I can't stop talking about? So for me, it's personal development, it's speaking, it's coaching. Number 5, what is an area that I'm naturally good at compared to others? And here's the trick. Very so often, we are blind to our own strengths. I always tell people this. I live with myself 24 hours every single day. So sometimes my strength is already like, to me, it doesn't seem so cool anymore. But to others, they're like, what? That's so cool. Okay, so an area for me is speaking, for example. Like I speak naturally well that I don't even think is a strength. But people point it out to me like, Ray, you're a natural storyteller, you're a natural connector. I'm like, oh, I am. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so sometimes asking your friends to point your strengths out to you is very helpful. Number 2, talk to people and gain perspective. And I wrote here 6 months versus 2 hours. All right. So let me ask you this. If you were to use 6 months versus 2 hours to figure out what you want to do, which do you prefer? Which would you choose to find out what you want to do in life? Would you rather take 6 months or would you rather figure it out in 2 hours? Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. Both is good. Okay, but let me give you a little bit of context to why I talk about 6 months versus 2 hours. Okay, so an internship is about 6 months or a year. Okay, 6 months or a year. What you could do is to go for multiple internships and figure out what you want to do. But what could happen is you go into an internship and after 1 month, you realize, no, this is not something I like. and you sort of waste the other 5 months. For me, what has helped a lot is spending 2 hours having coffee with a manager or an industry leader or a mentor, someone that has already had experience in that industry. So what I did was, before I decided to, immediately sign up for coaching school or immediately go and take up a coaching cert, I went on LinkedIn. I searched life coach into the search box, and I went to find out who are the people that have been coaches for a long time. I reached out to them and I bought them coffee. So I bought them like a $3 coffee, right? Even at the Starbucks, it costs $6. But just for that $3 to $6, I gained so much insight because I'm speaking to someone with like 10 years experience in coaching. So if you speak to someone that has so much experience in the industry that you want to go into, you may actually gain way more knowledge, way more insight, as opposed to only choosing internships. So this is what you can potentially do. We can list down a list of professions or people that you want to reach out to. Okay. So you have some idea of what you like to do. Now write down who are the people you want to reach out to on LinkedIn. You want to reach out to biologists. You want to reach out to people who are heading community service clubs or um, social profit, non-profit organizations. Do you want to reach out to speakers? You want to reach out to who do you want to reach out to? Okay, take some time to write down who are the people you want to reach out to. Okay, this is where you can do a little bit more brainstorming. So these people that you write down are people that you can go on LinkedIn to find out more. Okay, you can search them up and start chatting them up and ask them, hey, I really, really want to learn out more about your industry. Can I buy you coffee sometime? Okay, now maybe you can't go out of our house as much because of COVID-19, but can I, take up 30 minutes of your time to do a Zoom chat with you? Like, and via Zoom is so much easier to get someone on the Zoom chat than to get someone out of their house to have coffee with you. Okay, so that's what I did, and it really, really helped to cut down my time in figuring out what I want to do. Hey guys, like I cannot even stress how much speaking to people has helped me. Like a few days ago, I spoke to a brand coach who has 10 years of experience in coaching, because coaching is the industry that I'm in. And just in 2 hours, he gave me so much perspective about my business and gave me actionable steps on how I can improve my own business just in 2 hours. Can you imagine how much YouTube videos I have to watch in order to get those insights? Maybe I have to watch like 10 hours of YouTube to find those two insights that I got in 2 hours. So we can see in the comments below, yes, I agree with Ray. I've had about 15 plus coffee chats with professionals on LinkedIn last year, and it's really gotten me somewhere. So you can see, yeah, especially for female founders. Okay, so you have connected with female founders, entrepreneurs, educators, mental health advocates. For those who are really keen on public health, you can meet people who have 10 years of experience in public health. My sister was thinking of whether she wants to go into public or private sector. And for her, it's great to actually reach out to people in public and in private healthcare to find out which she prefers more. So this is where I will give you a little bit of a template. I have this ultimate conversation guide to share with you how to reach out to people easier so that you'll come across more friendly. Young people do ask me quite often, why would older people, why would mentors want to talk to me? I have nothing to offer at all. This is where you may be wrong, because a lot of mentors, a lot of older people, they want to meet younger people. They want to reach out to young people because they are looking for people to mentor already at that age. When you're 50 years old, when they're earning a bunch of money, to them, earning more money doesn't matter anymore. They just want to leave a legacy and they want to nurture the next generation. But here's the thing, so many people want to talk to them. So how can you be the one that stand out? This is where the ultimate conversation guide comes in. But a general principle that I can share is always come from a place of contribution. Even if you don't know how you can add value, simply by asking the question, how can I contribute to you? How can I contribute to your business? Will actually show that mentor or that industry expert that you genuinely want to help them. And many at times, a way of adding value is not by your knowledge, but is by connecting them with people. There are three ways to add value to people in terms of networking. Number one is knowledge, number two is opportunities, and number three is connections. Okay, so knowledge is, of course, imparting knowledge. Number two, opportunities. So opportunities would be, hey, I know of someone that can offer work opportunity to you. Or, hey, I know of someone that would love to be your intern. Number three is connections, connecting them with other people who are like-minded. Okay, so great. So I see a question. I guess I can answer it since it's a short question. During the coffee chat, if in person, do you actively take notes? Oop, I feel like that would be awkward. Okay, great. That's a great question. Okay, so for me, I will have a notebook on hand. I always have like a notebook handy. So I have a notebook beside me all the time, and I will take notes. I am more of a digital person. If I had a choice, I would take out my laptop to take notes, but that would seem a little bit rude. So I usually just use a pen and paper instead. And in fact, it will make them feel even more appreciated because they'll be like, you are writing notes about what I'm saying. Oh wow. Right. They'll feel so touched. They'll be like, I guess what I say is really valuable. So by you writing down notes, it actually shows that you care about what they say and you want to remember. So in fact, writing down notes when they are sharing actually makes them feel more important. So feel free to take down notes. Number three, work for free but be strategic. Okay. Now, this is extremely important. All right. One of the pitfalls that some young people have is they go for internships, job shadowing, working for free. They do so many of these things, but they never go in with a specific objective. And they end the internship going like, huh, yeah, maybe marketing wasn't for me. Next one. But they don't know what they learned out of it. Every single experiences has its learning points. Every single experience actually allows you to understand yourself better. So never waste an experience. Okay. So this is what you can actually do. Before the internship, write down three objectives that you want to go in with. Okay. Or you can have one major objective and three learning points. So for example, when I did an internship in a media company, my main objective was to learn how to edit videos and also find out how to create content that would attract audience attention. Okay, even though I knew that I wasn't going to be a content creator for a company in future, I went into the company writing that as a main objective because I knew I wanted to create content for my own business, right? So the reason why I put that there as an objective is so that every day when I wake up and I'm going to work, I remember that that's my main objective. And our mind works in mysterious ways. When you give your mind a goal and a very clear objective, your brain will actually absorb information for that objective better. Okay, so it's important to go in with a very, very sure objective. Why is actually coming up an objective important? Second reason is because when you are thinking of your objective, it will actually allow you to say no to certain opportunities. Okay, so if let's say your objective is to let's say my objective was to learn editing, and a company comes to me and asks me to do marketing for their company, even though it could be a good opportunity, even though it could be a huge company, even though people say that it's a very prestigious internship, if I know in my heart that studying marketing will not help me in my path, then I would say no to that opportunity. Okay. So this is actually a great way to make sure that you are clear of your intention and you always choose an internship or a job or any opportunity with clarity of how this particular opportunity will help you in your future. After you work for free, after you job shadow, after you do the internship, always remember to do an after action report, just like any other event. Okay, write down what are areas that you have learned about yourself. Do you realize that you work better with structure? Are you more free flow? For me, I always take every single event as a way to know myself better. Okay, number four, find your niche and build your portfolio. Real world experience is better than any decorated report card. Okay, so depending on which industry you're in, of course, this particular point varies. If you are in an industry that requires very, very good academic grades, then definitely you have to prioritize the grades as well. But as I say, right, like grades are already expected in this world, in this economy, because everyone is so smart. Like everybody is already good in their studies. So the only way to make yourself more, to stand out more, is to find a niche. So what I mean by finding a niche, okay? Finding a niche does not just mean gaining experience, but it's finding what makes you different from someone else in your industry. Okay. So for example, if you are someone that is very keen on biology, so I saw biology just now, right? Okay. How would you be different from someone else that's also interested in biology, right? Are you someone that can work with people better than the other person who is also a biology graduate, is someone that is more analytical and works better with Excel sheets? Can you see how both of you are actually different? Okay, so you have your own unique niche. Okay, if your niche is you're able to combine like this with AI or something, you're able to combine like marketing with something sciencey. Okay, that is your niche. So find out what makes you you, and it will allow you to pitch yourself better to employers. Or if you decide to start your own business, it also allow you to shine brighter than other competitors out there. And if you think about it, when you find your niche, nobody really is a competitor to each other because you are the only person in your own mini niche. Right? You're the only you. Like you are you, and you're the only one that is you. So there's actually no one to compete with. So I have an ultimate unique voice worksheet that will help you find out what your niche is. So some questions I put in is, what are topics that energize me? What can I talk about for hours? What do people say is my natural talent or speaking style? What differentiates me from other people? So this is a little bit more focused on voice, but you can use it to start finding out what makes you and your voice unique, so that when you meet people, you can share. When you meet people and you share about yourself, people will immediately know that you're different. When you speak in front of interviews or your employers, your future employers, people immediately know that you have something different from any other person that they have met. And last but not least is to master the art of networking and putting yourself out there. Don't just be another resume sleeping in their inbox. Okay. So this is really like a confirmation, or more of like a stress, that meeting people is so important. Okay, let me share with you a story. So I have a friend who wants to be a management consultant. Okay, and management consulting and investment banking is a very sought after job, because for business students it's known as like the it job. It's like the best jobs out there, right? I think it's just a very popular choice, investment banking and management consulting. So when he sends his resumes out to so many people, it's sometimes very unlikely that he gets a response, because there are 100 over 1,000 over business graduates that also have a very, very good resume. So what makes you different? What makes him different? So what he did was he went on LinkedIn and he searched for people who were managers of management consulting agencies, and he just had coffee with them. He didn't really expect much. He didn't go in with an objective of, I want to sell myself. He just wanted to learn more about management consulting. He just wanted to connect soul to soul. And it just so happened that this one time he had coffee with one of the higher ups in this agency. And at the end of the coffee chat, and by the way, they didn't even just talk about management consulting, talk about anything under the sun, like gymming, dogs, coffee. The manager just told him, hey, You want to apply, right? How about you just send a resume over? I'll send it straight to the hiring manager. And he got an internship, even before any of his friends applied for internships. That is actually the power of networking. Remember this, okay? Like, people out there are actually very willing to help you. But if you don't share that you need help, nobody knows you need help. If you don't share that you want support, nobody will know that you want support. So always put yourself out there, right? It really, really helps. Could be something as simple as on LinkedIn saying that, hey, I'm looking for an internship in this. Anybody knows where I can get one? Or hey, I'm looking to connect with people uh who are who are heads of social enterprises. Do you know anybody that I could speak to? And you'll be surprised at how many people would comment and say like, yeah, I know someone, I can link you up with someone on LinkedIn or on Instagram. And that is how you put yourself out there. So to sum this up, the key mindsets that I have for you is number one, never compare yourself with others because you have your unique strength. Number two, self-doubt is completely normal, but choosing to let self-doubt consume you and limit you is a choice. Okay. Number three, always look at the outcome before the vehicle. And number four, know your core values and stick true to them. Know what you stand for and say no to everything else. Okay. If let's say your core value is putting people before profit and you get an internship offer from a company that's very huge, but they're super profit driven and they don't have good culture, then you know to say no to them because you won't be happy. So that is actually the end of my sharing. Are there any questions? Okay, you can feel free to put any questions in the comments down below. I can read. Someone says, asking for help is an underrated skill, but it's so beneficial. Helps helps you gain a little bit more understanding and helps you set a direction somewhere. Thanks for this reminder, Ray. Yes, okay. The world is kind, right? There are people out there that wants to help you, but you have to ask, because otherwise nobody will know that you need help or you need support. Another good perspective to know is that it's actually a privilege. People sometimes see as a privilege for you to ask them for help. Because when you ask me for help, you are trusting that I can help. You're actually trusting me. So I will feel like, oh, you're asking for my help. Yes, I would love to help. People actually love to feel needed. So when you are asking for help, you're actually making the person feel important and feel needed. Okay, that is actually a good perspective to remember. So I often reach out to people and they don't respond or say they don't have time. What do you suggest on doing when people don't want to help? Okay, great. I love that question. Okay, so there are two sides to this, right? The first, the overarching mindset is this: not everybody wants to help. Okay, I have been rejected before. All right, of course, I've been rejected nicely before, but not everybody is willing to help. Okay, there is such thing as a poverty mindset and an abundant mindset. Abundance is when you're like, okay, yes, I would love to help more because by when I help more, karma comes to me and I get more help as well, and we all collaborate as a human universe, right? But some people would rather just keep to themselves. So I think the first main mindset, the first main thing that you want to keep in mind is it's okay to get rejected, and not everybody wants to help you. And if this person rejects you, just go to the next person. However, this is the second part of my answer to this question. Um, you could use it as a feedback, right? If someone rejects and doesn't want to meet up, look at the message that you send them. Okay? Is your message enticing enough for them to want to help you? You know what I mean? So when you are reaching out to people on LinkedIn, okay, this is a way that you can do, okay? Before you even ask to meet them, the first two sentences, I will always give them a compliment. I will read their bio and I'll give them a sincere compliment. So one of the compliments I've gave before is this, right? I see that this person is a coach and he's an abundance coach. He brands himself as an abundance coach. So I sent, hey, blah, 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 name. I really love that you're an abundance coach. Abundance is actually one of my core values. And I love that you are someone that are willing to help abundantly, and you're not afraid of sharing information and helping others. So that is my compliment. And then I give in I introduce myself. I'm Ray, and I'm someone that is an aspiring coach, and I would love to hear your experiences because I've been following you on LinkedIn for a while, and I really think that what the work that you do is amazing. Part three, can I buy you coffee sometime? I would love to hear from you. So do you see how I first complimented him, and then I introduced myself and tell him why I want to ask him for help specifically, and then I ask him whether I can have coffee with him. Okay, so that is actually how you create a good impression instead of just saying, hey, can we meet? How do you deal with negative comments or people who are constantly bringing you down during normal or professional conversations? Okay, great. So if I have a choice, I would avoid speaking to people who are negative, but there were times that I didn't have a choice. Okay, so when I didn't have a choice, I made sure that my tone was firm, and I made sure that I backed my opinions always with evidence. Okay, so it's important to learn how to protect yourself, right? If let's say people are talking down on you or people are treating you nastily, make sure that the context is always set well at the start. Okay. Of course, this is a little bit harder to do because standing up for yourself is honestly like a whole other webinar and a whole other workshop by itself. And it's like what I coach my clients on, because it starts with clarity of your identity, which is like, 2 3 hours of really digging deep with my clients. After really being clear of your identity, your thoughts, and your perspectives, then is the second part, which is understanding how to deal with situations where people put you down, when your boss tells you to do overtime, and bosses you around without any real explanation. How can we really explain? How can we stand firm? How can we stand our ground in order to speak up to that person? There's a lot of role playing involved. So of course, it's hard to answer this question fully, but my fast answer to this question is back yourself up with evidence and stand your ground and stay firm. How can we overcome the intimidating feeling when talking to someone who has higher position than us? Great, perfect. Okay, so um, you're intimidated because you haven't done it a lot before. So for me, the intimidating feeling actually slowly withered away the more I talk to people who are higher positions than me. So one very actionable tip that I could suggest is, instead of going into a job and then being forced to talk to someone who is of higher position, start now by reaching out to people on LinkedIn that are of higher positions. Because when you have 10 coffee chats with 10 CEOs, you start to realize that they are normal people just like you and me. Okay. One thing that I always like to share with people is people who are CEOs, they also need to take a shit sometimes. Like they also have stomach ache sometimes. What I'm trying to say is that they are normal human beings. They have to go to the toilet. They're just like you and me. Even if they are so cool and they're like a CEO, they still have stomach ache once in a while. That's what I always tell myself. Um, h- Last but not least, how do you fake confidence during the networking process? Okay, I love this question. Confidence will be built over time. How our brain works is that we are slowly confident about something when our brain has enough evidence that we're good at that thing. So you will have to keep practicing, and keep practicing in order for that confidence to be built. But at the start, yes, maybe you have to fake it. This is how you so-called fake that confidence. Practice your introduction many times. Okay, practice introduction many times. You always need to have the answer to this one question. And this question is, what do you do? All right. People will always ask you to introduce yourself. What do you do? So make sure that you have that question, that answer prepared. Okay. And that answer may vary for various scenarios. If you are being asked by your classmate versus if you're being asked by a potential employer, your response will be different. So prepare the answer and practice the answer multiple times. Because when you introduce yourself in a confident way, the rest of the conversation will be much easier. Okay, I would love to answer more questions. You can just hop it on my Instagram. This is where I will just drop a couple more links and action steps on how you can take the templates that I shared earlier. So number one, what's next? Okay, so just to share with you that I have a bi-weekly digital newsletter that I drop on the first and third Sunday of the month. So since I'm 13 hours ahead of you, that would mean it is the Saturday, right? It is the first and third Saturday evening or Saturday morning of the month, either one, right? But basically, it's either Sunday or Saturday for you, okay? But it's the first week and the third week. So if you want to get a PDF compilation of my top speaking, communication, and networking tips for the week, as well as do it yourself worksheets and templates so you can easily apply those tips, then feel free to subscribe. It's free of charge. The first edition dropped last 2 weeks ago, and the first edition was my ultimate conversation starter guide and worksheet that I shared with you just now. And tomorrow, or 2 days later, Sunday, this weekend, I will be dropping the digital newsletter on how to find your unique voice. And you'll be all dropped in this Telegram group that I have. If you want to sign up, all you need to do is to click the link that the team will be sending right now. So, HEARO team, can you send that first link in the comment section down below? So feel free to click that link and you can fill up that form. It'll take you just 2 to 3 minutes to fill it up. It's very simple. You just have to put in your Telegram details so I can add you into the chat and you can receive this bi-weekly digital edition, which will help you in your life. Okay. The third link that will be sent will be my Instagram. So I do have bite-sized tips, actionable steps on speaking, networking, and personal branding all on my Instagram. I post every single week, couple, and my IG stories are always filled up. Like I post IG stories every single day. So if you wanna, get bite-sized tips and actionable steps on speaking, networking, and personal branding, or generally personal development, then you can feel free to follow my Instagram. Um, Last but not least, I want to just share with you that you have light in you that the world is waiting to see. Remember that you have unlimited potential, and the only thing stopping you from success is you. Okay, even though I haven't met any of you in real life, I want to say that I believe that you can achieve your dreams and you can achieve anything that you want. I used to not believe in myself, but what has helped me a lot is to surround myself with people who saw the potential in me and showed me what I could do. And right now I'm doing what I do simply because I had people believing me. So if you ever have self-doubt, reach out to people who are willing to support you. Reach out to mentors, reach out to your friends who are supportive, and they will be your um, support. And in future, you will be that support and the inspiration to someone else. Okay? And of course, HEARO is completely amazing. They have workshops lined up for every single month until June. I am just blown away with the amount of support that UW has, that all of you have, because HEARO is doing amazing things and they have amazing guest speakers coming up. So definitely follow HEARO's Instagram page and be notified of any workshop coming up. If I'm not wrong, I will be hosting another workshop in June ish. So you can stay tuned for that as well. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you everybody for being here. If you have any questions, you can drop it to me on Instagram. I would love to answer any questions that you have on networking, speaking, how to figure out your roadmap after university, personal development, anything related to that. Thanks so much everybody for your energy. I can feel it through this Zoom chat. And feel free to tag me on Instagram if you post this online. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yay.
everyone. Oh, can't wait to try the coffee chat. Yes. No, yeah. Oh, yeah, and thanks. Yeah, thanks. Again, this is a collaborative event, so thanks to ASUW as well. So I intern at ASUW for under campus partnerships, and we've got a lot of backup, designers, a lot of event planners. So there's a lot of people behind the scene. They're not able to make it due to time conflicts, obviously. But again, we're really appreciating the University of Washington. We have a couple. Board members who are, working again behind the scene. Right? Yes, snap that. Yeah.
Snapped.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, thanks again for all being here. And if you have any questions, Ray, feel free to drop your link in, by the way. Yeah, your LinkedIn profile or your email contact if anyone has any questions, and follow Ray on Instagram. She's very open for, very responsive with her DMs as well. But if you would like,
Extremely.
you could, Ray, you could drop your link in as well. So
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, you can drop me a LinkedIn connection. I would love to answer any questions or just connect, because I love meeting people who are passionate about a cause. I love meeting young millennials who are like ready to serve the world and show your light to the world. So just connect with me.
thanks again, Ray, for
Okay,
answering all
thank
of our
you.
questions. Okay,
Bye
otherwise,
guys.
rest of
Be
the day.
amazing.
All right,
Bye
bye.
superstars.